Hey pal, do you like things being difficult? Do you like being frustrated and confused by technology? No? Well, this is the video for you then, because the term plug and play is almost exactly how I describe using the mic kit in today's video. There's a ton of options for recording audio easily these days, but the DJI Mic without a doubt has become one of the most popular. Does it have some kind of secret sauce that other mic kits are missing? Well, let's find out, because the DJI Mic packs a punch in performance and is tiny to boot. In today's video, I'm going to be covering some of the key features and what it's like to actually use the DJI Mic, why the DJI Mic could be a better option than some professional audio kits, and to wrap up, we're going to take a look at some tests and comparisons between the DJI Mic and some other mic kits in its class. All right, time for some stats and facts. Listening to the radio might not be the #1 choice for audio entertainment anymore, but without radio signals, many of our modern conveniences like Wi-Fi and Bluetooth just wouldn't work at all. Taking advantage of the same radio frequencies as Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, many new wireless lav kits now operate in the 2.4 GHz band to transmit audio. Using a 2.4 GHz system does have its drawbacks, which from my experience are mostly related to the number of channels accessible and the transmission strength. This being said, in a lot of situations it's unlikely most users would notice a difference between a 2.4 GHz system and the more professional UHF systems. In fact, using a 2.4 GHz system for several reasons could actually be a lot less of a hassle. I'll explain. A lot of the radio frequencies floating around us are for specific things like emergency services or public communication, so there are only so many frequencies available that aren't heavily regulated. The 2.4 GHz band is one of those unregulated bands of frequencies, meaning that you can pretty much use the DJI Mic kit wherever, whenever, and pretty much in any other country other than North America. Not that... North America is not a country. UHF systems, however, operate in a heavily regulated spectrum and can require authorization to use depending on where you are and what you want to do. The main benefits of using UHF are the number of channels available to cruise and the transmission strength. But 2.4 GHz systems are quickly catching up to the transmission strength of UHF systems. I do realize that the DJI Mic is made mostly for small productions or vlogging, but what if you wanted to use multiple sets of DJI mics in one production, or you had to be near another production also using mics in the 2.4 GHz band? The lack of channels could really become problematic. One last thing on channels. There is no way to specifically choose a channel frequency. The DJI Mic auto-selects what it thinks is the best at any given time. So depending on who you are, this could be an unthinkable downside, but from an ease of use perspective, it is way less confusing for beginners, and it's just one less step you have to deal with. Just make sure your levels are correct and boom, you're ready to go. During my time using the DJI Mic, the only time I really had an issue with signal was when I had the transmitter in my front pants pocket and laid face down in the grass. All right, and this is going to be the last photo of the day. There we go, and funding. Apparently 2.4 GHz signals don't like passing through super thick hunks of beef. Oh yeah! Anyways, the DJI Mic works best when you can keep line of sight. When nothing is obstructing the transmitter and receiver, the reported range is up to 250 meters. And I can see this being really handy if you're shooting something like a car show where the camera crew is in a different car and distance between cars can quickly increase. Personally, I'd prefer that the signal penetrate objects a bit more efficiently than this super long transmission distance, but for the rare time that you're super far away from the camera, it's going to be a good feature to have. With the DJI Mic, transmission strength isn't the be-all end-all, as you can record up to 14 hours with the 8 gigs of internal recording space in each transmitter, meaning that you can always have a clean backup of any recording done, whether or not the receiver actually receives that signal. And speaking of backups, you can set the DJI Mic to record 2 different decibel levels, one at the decibel level that you set in the menu, and the other at -6 of whatever that level is that you've chosen. Anyways, the important thing to focus on here is that a 2.4 GHz system offers pretty much the same quality recording as an upmarket UHF system for small productions, but at a much lower cost for a lot of applications. So now that we've discussed how audio gets from point A to point B, let's talk about what it's like to actually use and wear the DJI Mic. As this is a wearable device, the DJI Mic needs to be comfortable to wear, be easily mounted, and to be able to weather the weather with you. Coming in at the weight of a bad habit, the receiver weighs just 24.9 grams while the transmitter comes in at 30 grams. Both can operate in temps ranging from -10 to +45 degrees Celsius, so you can use it outside in most places all year long, and coming in at that weight, it's basically impossible for this mic to weigh you down. If you're recording on the fly, the transmitter has a high-quality Omni mic built in and can attach to clothing with the clip or magnet for a more elegant look. Personally, I wouldn't wear the mic on my shirt or have it visible in shot if I can avoid it. In my opinion, this looks kind of tacky. It doesn't take that much more to set yourself up with a lav mic, and it's even more discreet than hiding it with the transmitter magnet. Note though that the lav mic will be an additional purchase if you choose to go with the DJI Mic. Whether you use a lav or not, the DJI Mic is going to get you audio dependably. There are 3 ways that you can send audio out of the receiver. In addition to the classic 3.5mm headphone jack, the DJI Mic has the option to swap the cold shoe adapter to a Lightning or USB-C connector. This allows you to bypass using a TRS to Lightning cable to connect to your iPhone, and it saves you from having to carry a TRS to TRRS cable for USB-C equipped devices such as Android phones, the DJI Action 2, or even your computer. All in all, the DJI Mic is staggeringly easy to use and set up on practically any platform. None of the features would matter though if you couldn't power the DJI Mic dependably. One of the most important things in any device without a removable battery is how long that battery is going to last on a single charge. Both transmitter and receiver are powered by a 320 mAh LiPo battery, giving the transmitter a max of 5.5 hours and the receiver a max of 5 hours operating time with a charge time of 70 minutes each. And if for some reason 5 hours of operating time isn't enough for you, the receiver and transmitter can both be trickle charged via USB-C. The charging case is a better way to store the kit and is much more convenient than a USB-C splitter to charge everything, and it also adds 1.8 recharges for both transmitters and receiver on top of their full batteries. So powering these units all day long is sort of a non-issue. Oh, also, yes, it doesn't just charge the case, it will also sync both transmitters and the receiver automatically when you insert them into the charging case. If you choose to not go with the charging case, you can always sync any receiver and transmitter through the receiver's menu. And speaking of the menu, there are a ton of options that you can change from the touchscreen to make sure that your audio is at its best. I would say of all the features of the DJI Mic, it's the menu system that sets it apart from other mics in its class. It's well designed and easy to use, which honestly is the best compliment that I could give a menu system. Though I typically do prefer buttons to touchscreens, the overall size, brightness, number of options, and the responsiveness of the screen make up for the lack of buttons. So simple, so easy, so convenient. The DJI Mic is for sure aimed at the user who needs a stripped down and simple setup experience. But as I've mentioned before, it's not the only mic in its class. So let's get into some practical testing. Here I'm going to test the DJI Mic against the Hollyland Lark 150, which is possibly an even better value for money. For this test, I'm going to test them each with just the internal mics. Okay, so this is our comparison of the DJI Mic to the Hollyland 150 Lark. So yeah, we're outside right now. There's definitely a thunderstorm rolling in, so I'm gonna have to wrap this up quick. But yeah, a busy street over to the right, lots of birds making sound over to the left, and some wind and rain also around us right now. All right, well that's both of them tested outside. Let's go back in so I'm not getting rained on. All right, so back indoors, and we are still testing the Hollyland 150 Lark against the DJI Mic. As you can see, they're pretty much equally far away from my mouth, so they should be getting pretty much the exact same levels. So yeah, this is what they sound like, and the only real room tone is coming from maybe my voice bouncing off the wall a little bit, and from the vents in the ceiling. So yeah, there we go. That's our comparison indoors of the Hollyland 150 Lark to the DJI Mic. Okay, there we go. That's the comparison of the two kits. Not too dissimilar from each other in terms of sound quality. However, I would say that using the DJI Mic, both from a user perspective and from the result that you get in the end, is overall better. So what you really need to consider is what you're getting for the price. In the case of the DJI Mic, there are 2 versions available. The version I have comes in the soft case or the dual transmitter charging case combo. As previously mentioned, the charging case is a way more convenient option for charging, and it comes with that second transmitter. So this is the option that I would personally buy, and only being $150 more than the one transmitter version, it's not that terrible of an upgrade price. Keep in mind though that the DJI does cost more than its competitors to get 2 transmitters. For instance, the Rode Wireless Go and the Saramonic Blink 500 Pro both cost less than the single or dual transmitter options of the DJI Mic. There are pros and cons to them all, so make sure to do your research on what's right for you. To close out this video, I'm going to leave you with an excerpt from a vlog I shot recently on my day off. I used a lav in combination with the DJI Mic, so keep that in mind while listening.
So what happened to the bike? That got bent in, and then somehow the brake line got punctured, and I lost all my brake fluid. One of them is an 80.
Okay. Oh, Le Mans. Oh, that's great.
They're actually quite desired bikes, but they're not original.
So you've got aftermarket parts on these then?
I've got some aftermarket parts in them. There's a lot of original parts, sort of a mishmash of stuff. Well, the older machines are easier. Now the modern machines, they're not as easy to work on. This is carbureted. It's a very simple bike. You gotta find a sweet spot when you're starting it. Then sometimes it starts the very first kick, sometimes 3 or 4 times. There's a sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
One of the interesting things about this bike, and one of the things I absolutely love about it, is a drive shaft. It's not a chain drive. That's a chain drive. This bike is my first
totally
bike.
Different.
I kept it because it's my first bike and I love it. But my next bike, if I ever bought another brand new bike, it's always going to be drive shaft. I just love the way it looks.
There is the DJI Mic. For sure a solid option that requires almost no effort, and it comes in at a very competitive price point for the aspiring video creator or seasoned audio professional. If you're interested in any of the products covered in this video today, or you want to see any of our other audio products, head to vistek.ca. Thanks for watching. Bye.